Alrighty, in this quick video I just want to show you the new way of loading up all the data into your report and then how to produce that out of Power BI. So we're in the sec folder, development, impact, and we'll go after the event stats master finalized data connected document. So we'll open that one up. I've already got it open. So here it is. So this is so that we have all of the event data all in the one place. And basically the process is going to be, you do your event and you're just going to go through the different yellow tabs at the bottom here, and then I'll show you how that fits into Power BI. So the first one is student attendance. In here, the important thing is that we have just all of anything that doesn't have a grey column filled in. So yeah, we've got the event. So in my case, I just did Brisbane North St Lucia. Once you've got that in, it'll read in the state and zone, so that's all good. Just put in the year, what the date was, what kind of day it was. For this ACARA ID, that's how we get like location data and a bunch of other metadata about that school. That's all over here. All of that reads from this massive list here, schools master. So best thing to do, because most of the schools are just the same every year, is to go back through to previous years and find where that data is and copy paste them in. This column here, ACARA check, all that does is come up with what that ACARA ID actually maps to in our schools master, and if it's the same as what you've entered in. Now, for instance, sometimes it's not, because St Joseph's College Brisbane is now St Joseph's College Gregory Terrace, as far as I can tell, but they are the same school. So this is the problem. We've got changing school names over time, and if we want to see a school's history with the challenge, maybe they have a couple of different names. So the ACARA ID won't change for that school, but the name might, which is why this one is yellow. Yellow's fine, it just means it doesn't match up. So it's worth checking. And just like checking, longitude and latitude, that's pretty close to the other ones. It's probably fine. Yeah. Cool. So once you've got your schools in, then it's a case of putting in the scores from the day. You could do what I did and just go to the score sheet. So if I bring that up, yep. So you can just copy these in, but again, the problem there is that you've then got to look up the ACARA ID. So I highly recommend, as much as possible, copy pasting from previous years. But yeah, just putting in their scores. Why do we do that? It's because on the report, we used to have the scores for the different schools, and now we do. So this also means that we've got it in a central place, and we can see scores over time and that kind of thing. We're not going to get back through the entire history of the program, fill that in, but from now on we'll have that data available. We're also going to put in their rank. Why? Because the formula for making a rank based on just that event was getting frustrating for me. So it's not too big a deal to put in the rank there. And that also appears on the report. And that's how we order it on the report. So we've put in the score, we've put in the rank. We don't have to worry about total here, but obviously male, female, non-binary, ESL, First Nations. There's a field here for teacher contact details. That is in a different table now, so don't worry about that. But that's it. It didn't take me too long, maybe 10-15 minutes. And hopefully, especially if I actually put these in and then had to look up the ACARA IDs. To do that, I just copied the school name and then came over to Schools Master and then searched for Bridgeton College. And there it is, and the ACARA ID is in the leftmost column. Right. Again, all that's doing is making sure that we then have all the location data and all the metadata about that school available in the report. Alright, other attendance. This one's really nice and quick. It's literally just putting in the name of the event, what type of event it was. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this gets filled in, so this should be grey. Grey. I can make it white text. And yeah, what the exact date was, and then here's your very familiar number of teams, number of teachers, number of event staff. Some of this, I'm just flagging now, might be replaced when we have teachers and staff signing in, because when they sign in using a tablet, they actually do this, capture this data for us. So we won't have to put that in manually, but for now, it's a really quick one. Activities to events, so that appears on the report again. It'll be pretty much the same everywhere we go. So it's just a case of putting in the event name. And again, that's from a drop down. So you can start to type it in. Brisbane, oh, it's cool, St. Lucia, nice. Which year it is, what type it is, and then just copy pasting those activities there. If you want to add a comment for how a particular activity ran, then you can put it in there, but largely we won't have to worry about that. Alright, now we're getting to the evaluation side of the report. So we're going to go event comments. What would be helpful is to show you the actual report template. So you can see here we're trying to fill in all these different fields, right? So we're going to have a sponsors as well. Might have to change these a little bit. But over here, evaluation summary. So we're putting in tune-up tips and best bits. So to do that, we can put it in here. So I'll just drag this down just so that the drop down continues on, this data validation here. And again, this is Brisbane North, St. Lucia. And we've got two different categories here. So 2024, just so it can be filtered out. So best bits. Doesn't have to be a long sentence. Quality of event staff. It's excellent. And then if you have any tune-up tips, this is suggestions for improvement. I'm going to say sort out why we had 9 schools. I'll think of a better way of saying that in a second when I actually do this for real, but that's the kind of thing we put in there. So that's all good. This is best bits. What else is good? New activities will run very well and were well received. Something like that. Cool. Event daily evaluation. This one's a little more frustrating. But basically, you can just take all of this and we're going to paste it down here. And then this is Brisbane North, St. Lucia, and this is daily evaluation. So we're going to do this for each day. 24. The first one was the 6th for me. I'm going to just do this 3 times. So what you might like to do is actually just filter by that event, and then probably by that date as well, because this is going to get a little complicated. But the evaluation here, you don't have to worry about any of this. We're just going yes or no. So did I receive 80% of the PRFs? For the first one, no, I didn't. But these guys, yes, they did. Yes, we had enough. Just they were excellent. They followed the procedures. Basically, it's going to be yes by default, right? And then we just can turn them off. Cool. So we need to do that for each day. We go 7th. And we're going to go like this. 1, 2, 3. Cool. And this is just so that we have a record. Why is that not? Normally it goes up, I think. Yeah. Cool. So by default, these are all yes. But I'm going to filter just by day here. Okay, yes. And then no, I don't think we did have 80%. We had a few. But otherwise, all good. And last one here on the 8th. No, I don't think we did. Yeah, cool. Remembering, of course, that some of these things don't really impact much anyway. You know, the big ones are, do you have enough personnel? And this was like, we were bare bones for that one, but that's okay. Cool. We've got overall evaluation. Once again, we've got to automate this, hey. This is... Oh, good, the validation's gone. By the way, you can paste special validation. There we go. So this is all Brisbane South, Brisbane North, sorry. And then look at Bendigo down here. And once again, I'm just going to filter just to make my vision nice and clear here. This is all 2024. Going to make this like this. Cool. And then by default, it's at standard, and then I can make decisions otherwise. But this is our overall evaluation. So in terms of our page here, I kind of see the bottom. Nice. Overall evaluation. Let's do that filter so I can see what I'm doing. Okay. Yep, that was great. In fact, they had a really good turnout. That was good. Morning tea was really good. Lunch was good. Media retention, yeah, that's fine. They had a social media person, so I'm happy with that. VIP attendance, they didn't have anyone from the uni, but that's okay. It's not below attendance. I don't know what it would count as below standard, like if they just get a vagabond off the street, or I don't know what that means. Cool. Yeah, layout was all good. Venues all good. Crowd responses were fantastic. They're fine. Yeah. Yeah, so some of these are, you can see the responsibility is actually team leader. Have I uploaded the photos? Not yet, but I will do that soon, Lisa. Promise. Awesome. Now, if you're feeling very generous, you can help Mick out and put in the teacher contacts. Again, very much hoping that this will be captured in the tablet instead. And event sponsors, that's just a case of coming in, and in all cases we're always putting in the year, so that's a filter, and then Brisbane, challenge type, and then it's Brisbane North St. Lucia. In fact, I've already done it. There it is. They were the event partner. That's all you need to do, so we'll delete that one. Cool. So once that's all done, alrighty. So popping over into the report generator, where is it? It lives on the server. It's in that same folder as all the rest of the stuff. So event stats master, it's report generation proof of concept. Now I will say, unfortunately, at the moment, this is locked to my computer. Very frustrating trying to work around that. But let me know when you've uploaded your data, and I can refresh this document. You can open it, you just can't refresh the data, which again is very frustrating. So I'm going to go up to refresh data. It's going to come up. It's going to look for that document that it's on the back end, which is a local copy of our event stats master. It's going to start to synchronize all of those tables. As we can see on the right there, we've got in our data all of those tables. They are all feeding into this document. So it's got to go through and do a fair amount of downloading. It takes a little time. We'll just let that do its thing. But the dream is, once this is set up and we're happy with it, it should be a really quick process. Yeah, fully aware at the moment, it's a bit of a nightmare. So apologies for that. I'm working on it. Oh, hooray! Alrighty, so what we need to do is go to the Filters tab. If that's all collapsed down, it's over on the right there. Filters, Event Title. You're going to make sure that it's only got one selected. Should be basic filtering is fine. We can select it. But basically we want only the event that we're after. There's Brisbane North. And the bottom left, you'll notice we've got year as well. So we'll just set that to 2024. Now, some of the time, that list might be really long. So we're going to have to make some formatting changes here. In this case, we don't have any program sponsors. We've just got an event sponsor. So we're going to have to go up to Save As, and we'll put it right in the event folder. So events, going to Queensland, QT, oh, not QT, Brisbane North, then 2024, and we'll chuck it into post-event docs. Name it something sensible. I'll just spell everything wrong the first time. Cool, so now we're working on this local copy. Now we can make some formatting changes. So on the right here, we've got all of our schools, so that all of that school scores, ranks, they've all fed into there. It's broken down by day as well, so you can see why we've made all these data entries. Over here, we've got our winning schools. Maybe you've got a few more days, so you might like to rearrange these. We are sending this out as a Power BI report, which means they can zoom and scroll and all that kind of thing. But I thought that'd be nice to have on the front page if we do spit it out as a PDF. We've got some problems with some things going too long, so we'll have to drag that over there. We don't need this generously sponsored by at all, because of course we only had that event sponsor. So here's where it's a little dragging and dropping. Notice as I've pulled down. Yep, so we're just going to chuck in the UQ logo. How do we do that? Can you drag and drop? We'll find out. It looks like it should be able to do it, and it doesn't. Okay, that's fine. We're going to go up to Insert at the top of the screen there, and we're going to go to Image. So let's find that again. UQ. There is rad. And I'm going to ask them for feedback on how this report looks anyway. It's not going to look nice because it's quite a different kind of image. At this point I'm freaking out in the video because I forgot where my filters were, or they didn't realize that it had been covered up by pulling that in cooperation with box down. So I just had to undo everything, and then I'm like, what is going on? Oh, there's the bounding boxes. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, you'll be happy to know when I'm recording this video, the audio did not record, because I did not check that the microphone was enabled. So I've had to do a bit of voiceover after the fact. Anyway, fiddle, 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 fiddle. You get the idea. Remember, it's insert, image, find the logo. You'll be happy to know, though, that all of the tweaks probably will be just on this page. Otherwise, it's just a case of double checking. And unfortunately, because this is all reading from that Excel document, until I work out how to not have this be hosted locally, we're going to be stuck doing things like I'm the bottleneck, which I hate, but here we are. Alright, so maybe you have a longer list, you can adjust all these things, that's all good. Cool, so that will do fine for this copy. Right, so we've got our basic stats in there, evaluation summary. Now, notice the overall event score has dropped down. That's because we just didn't have those PRFs. Your medical information here, that is from entering into the app. So if it's not there, you've got to enter it in with the app. Then it feeds it right through. But yeah, that 94%, that just comes from the fact that some of our stuff, we didn't have the PRFs. So it's not a big deal, and so I would put a note in the email to say that's why that local committee score was down a little bit. Arguably, that could be something that we classify instead as sec gods dictating, because we can only chase so much. But there you go. Cool. They've got a table that shows them the details of the data evaluation and where they came from and what the impact was. So, not a big deal, but no, we did not have those PRFs beforehand. Also, we didn't have schools state at the end of the presentation, but that was outside of our control. Notice we've got above and beyond highlighted there. Just making sure that all of those yearly filters, they should be all in sync. But in the case they're not, you will probably have to log in to make these maps work. I was having trouble with this earlier. Oh, it's actually going to work now. Cool, so once you've signed in, you can see it actually comes up with this nice map. Again, our yearly filter is set to the right one, so that's good. And historical comparison. The years on record, I think at the moment that's just current year minus the earliest year that I can find, which might not actually be accurate. But that's right, I'll keep it in there. And then you can see each year how many students they had. And I guess we're asking for feedback on the best way to display this data. 2020, we had a bit of a disruption there. Cool. But yeah, all of the changes are probably just going to be on that summary sheet. So the data entry, that's the main step. And here, just some very minor tweaking. That's about it. And so this is the actual document that we will send to the committee. So you save that one. If I go back to my events folder, 2024, that's the attachment. Hopefully we'll be able to send like a live link soon, but that's the attachment there. You can export as a PDF. You go to File, Export as PDF. Otherwise, all good.